Okay, as y'all may know, I have a strong distaste for Sonic 06 for many reasons. Y'all already know. Ever since I took care of my motherfucking J-Man, G reviews with this bullshit, and yet we have two. But let's see about this guy. So this dude, this man, Pariah 695. This man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He gives out really good points when it comes to the Sonic series with the games. Stuff that I would miss, which is fathomable. It's just that there's not that much that tends to fly over my head when it comes to the Sonic series. Especially for the games that I've beaten, but I'll still miss shit. And it's that's okay. I'm not Mega Man with the shit. But this man, what I think I'm about to see is that he's gonna try to defend Sonic 06 himself, possibly, because I did see the time that I originally had on the video. I think I was 26 minutes in, but we'll see how bad this gets. It's not looking good. So we have this man and then motherfucking Premi. I said before that Premi, he's gonna make me fucking mad. I know he's gonna make me fucking angry. Oh, God. Let's see what this man's talking about. Let's just go in and dive into it. This man's saying Sonic was always good. It really depends on what we talking about. But Sonic 06, please do not tell me that it's good. Even close to good. At best, you want to give it the most benefit of the doubt, 3. But let's see what this man says. Let's hear him out.
Now, I know this series is called Sonic Was Always Good, but of course there's going to be some exceptions to that. I mean, come on. We're talking about Sonic 06 here.
Okay.
Is probably what you're expecting me to say, but actually you might be surprised about my opinion of this game. I certainly was, because I haven't played this game in 10 years or something. And going into this video, I was like, what the heck can I possibly say about Sonic 06 that hasn't already been said 5 billion times by every other person that's ever played this game before? But then I thought, hey, why don't I do the same thing that I've been doing with all my others?
Okay, now, what you can't say is that, okay, going into it, you should expect a whole lot of things to, say that people that, good chance that people have, I said before, the best story is objectively, Shadow's story, Silver sucks dick, the Sonic story sucks, and then the last story sucks, and then the gameplay sucks, and then the music gets bomb as hell. You should expect to just say that stuff, just off the gate. Then the glitch fest, Elise sucks, and one more thing, the loading screens. So again, you should expect to see a whole lot of shit, and you might as well make a bingo board out of that shit, man. There's so much that's hard to not repeat from others, but it's you don't have to actually hear them from others. Is the thing. You could just you can just you can just look at what people say after you do your own recording of your thoughts on Sonic 06, and then you'll be like, oh shit, all this shit is actually lining up. Well, for the the good reviews, there's plenty of bad reviews. I'm pretty sure. Sonic 6, man. What people thinking?
Sonic games, which is do what I can to try to improve the game. Sonic 06 certainly needs it more than any of the other Sonic games I've covered so far. So for this video, I'm going to be playing Sonic 06 on Xenia, which is an Xbox 360 emulator on my PC. And with that, I'm going to be using the Sonic 06 mod loader, which has a whole gigantic...
Holy shit. All those improvements, man. Yo, how much you want to bet though that Project 06 still has like more even more updates, like even more improvements than this whole list here? Because man, this shit is like gargantuan in size here. Like holy shit, that's well over a few dozen shits I'm seeing just on one screen here.
List of tweaks in the game
God.
that you can toggle on and off.
God.
Fix various things, finish things that were unfinished, re-implement things that had to get cut from the game, and just improve.
I'd like look up what shits are we talking about. That might as well be a whole video in of itself. I know I have a lot of thoughts about those those improvements. Like, yeah, it's like see what I'm talking about though. Game is so bad, you need all this shit. Look at that shit. So for you to defend a game without all these, man, madness.
Many things about the gameplay of Sonic 06, because holy shit does this game have fucking problems. One thing about running this game on an emulator is that you do sometimes run into some graphical glitches, so every now and then you're gonna see some pretty messed up stuff.
Okay, like with the mods, like I would kind of expect that, because like even when I was modding, I putting in like a whole lot of mods in Metro 2, I still run into like a whole lot of like issues and glitches. Like that still happens. So if one were to actually be knee deep into mods like that, they would expect that too. So alright.
Personally find it definitely worthwhile for getting substantially fixed gameplay bugs that make the game much more playable. And it's very rarely something that intrusive. It's just kind of some effects not rendering correctly or something like that. Nothing that prevented me from playing the game. And I actually didn't know during my playthrough that Xenia has a hotkey you can press to reset the graphics, and that'll fix any issues you're having. I didn't know that at the time of this playthrough, so if you're playing through Sonic 06 on Xenia, you don't even really have to deal with many graphical issues. And I have to say, coming back to this game after all this time has really changed my perspective on it a lot. So without further ado, let's get into...
Hey, that's not good. Like the way he said that, especially. Like, are we going to say that we're going to praise Sonic 06 because you said that it's improved? Like basically, your impression of the game has been improved, quote unquote. What the fuck is that? Like, does that mean we're about to see? Not setting really good precedents here. Like, this is the same game that's being touted as like the worst made game in history. Okay, so let's not dick suck. Like, we're not on heel, man. I think we need to chill.
To the gameplay, and as always, I'll be starting with the controls and abilities of your playable characters, obviously starting with Sonic. And the first thing I have to say is that when you first start playing this game, oh my fucking god, it feels terrible. The controls of this game feel so bad, just in so many ways.
Keep that in mind. Feel the game bad, and bad controls. Which like right now it's hard for me to like actually describe, but I really don't like how like the sidekick just locks you in like one set path. Like you can't do any sort of turn. And then even when you do have that with the quote unquote anti-grab slide or whatever, slow as fuck. Set on one one speed. Like zero acceleration, like that don't feel good. So it's weird how they made a low movement option like still bad, even with turn. again, like this, again, like this game's bad. Like I don't have to tell y'all.
Ways. It's a thing that I can't even really describe. You just need to get your hands on this game and you'll feel it for yourself. There are just so many clunky things about controlling your character in this game.
Clunky Salies.
However,
what?
I do need to say that after doing a full 100% playthrough of this game,
you can play on, you could, oh my god, man. Even when I was really excited in the game, when I was like fucking 13 or something, I was like, yeah, I'm not 100% this bullshit. Like, but you did? Oh no. Oh no, y'all.
You do eventually get used to the controls of
that don't mean it's good.
Sonic 06, and at a certain point, it starts to feel pretty good.
That don't mean the controls themselves are actually good. Like, don't some getting used. But like, you can get used to a fucking dick in your ass and, you know, still feel good. But that ain't me though, of course.
Moving around with Sonic on the ground is very responsive. It actually kind of feels a bit similar to Sonic Adventure 1. You can make very tight turns and control...
What's responsive is Sonic Project 06. You could say yourself there, but you didn't.
Yourself very precisely, very easily in this game. Though I do need to say, they have turned down the speed substantially for Sonic 06. I mean, people...
Okay, I've had the story, like, I've said the story before, but again, when I bought the game, the GameStop guy told me that, yeah, Sonic is, like, slow in this game. In which I believed him. Because Sonic really is slow. Like that itself is not good. Because this guy's a fucking oxymoron. Because his name is literally fucking Sonic. Everyone knows that Sonic shit is fast.
People complained in Heroes that you were too fast, and then for some reason they made you even faster in Shadow. And with this game, they turned that down so much. I mean, just look at how slow you are just running around the city. Like, this is not the speed that...
But I got used to it, though.
I would be expecting from Sonic the Hedgehog. This feels more like the movement speed of any typical 3D platformer, which I guess maybe kind of helps with the platforming design of the game by reducing the speed so much, but it certainly doesn't feel right for Sonic to go this slow in a Sonic game, and that is kind of lame. But while being slow, I can't deny that eventually this game does start to feel pretty good. On the ground, at least.
Again, the digging your ass feel pretty good. Sorry, that sounded like it was in poor taste. But on strip, getting fucked in the ass is like pretty good, man. So it's like, what part of this is like good again? Okay, like there's a difference between this bullshit and getting used to motherfucking like Sonic Riders. Like, cause I know Johnny, he hates Sonic Riders because of how the gameplay is. But that is a case where you can get used to the controls like of the game, because we're talking about something that's designed to be like, okay, if you run out of like air, you have to like run your ass to a pit stop because you ain't win any race on foot. Ironically, because you play a Sonic and shit, and you fear you would be able to, whatever. That's the design of the game. To be like, okay, you need to do tricks, you need to actually use whatever category you're in, whether speed, flight, or power, to get ahead in the race and maintain that air meter. This game, shit ass design. Like, dude, like the mirror doesn't even go in this game. It's literally stuck in fucking place when you're Sonic, dude. But it was supposed to go down, so that's bad design there. Or rather, like, the design is just not fucking used. So however you look at it, still not good. And when it comes to like the movement, nigga, like, this nigga's name's still Sonic. We all know he's fast as shit. He even has a Mach speed section, which is shitty in this game. Because for some reason, when you jump, you can't fucking move. And that leads to a whole lot of deaths. And then also, this game doesn't have autosave, so there's plenty of bad design decisions. You know, even for just movement. So you can't just say that it's good because I'm like used to it. I'm talking like there's legit like a whole. We saw a fucking list of like all the fixes that this game would need. Now I haven't gotten into them myself. I never even heard of that shit. Well, I never looked into that shit. But the game needs that for this game to be good. Wow. Still has glitches, but so you can't tell me, dog.
In the air is a totally different story because normally in Sonic 06, this game
See how fast he walked that back though?
has the most bizarre air controls that I've ever seen in a video game. Because the way it works is once you enter the air, you cannot change your speed in the air at all. You cannot accelerate and you cannot slow down. You can't come to a stop either. Whatever speed you have when you first jump, that's the speed you have for the entire jump. And along with that, you're always moving forward depending on which direction the character is facing. And so you can't just, like, jump and then fall straight down if you're moving when you start the jump. So if you want to fall straight down in this game, you have to, like, spin in a circle because you're going to keep moving no matter what. And it just makes the air controls in this game so
especially
awkward
there.
feeling.
I feel that so many times.
However, thankfully, this is one of the things that you can fix with the mod loader, and now you can make the game control exactly the same on the ground and in the air, and this totally fixes the problem and makes jumping feel really good in this game. It does need to be said overall that the physics in Sonic 06 are...
also, yeah, that was already like much better because I could tell like the difference between like the mod loader and him using and him playing the game with his like you know like without the mods. Because again, like I know I said it before, but you know with that previous video, but yeah, when you're dropping from like a when you're dropping from like practically any height, you just go in one direction for some fucking reason, and when you go like any other direction, it like turns you hard into like at like a high speed for some fucking reason. And like again, it's weird because it's at a set speed, like it's with no acceleration. So again, like the feel of the game is like very fucking weird like that, and like it really don't feel fucking good. So yeah.
The most fucked up physics that the series has ever seen, and it takes a lot of getting used to just to figure out how to properly maneuver in this game overall, especially with all the...
Especially when you say like things like, okay, it takes like a lot of time to get used to it. That don't tell me good game or good controls. So when it comes to like a whole lot of cases where like the design is like it can feel funky, or like you're gonna say, or you find yourself saying, okay, it took me like a while to get used to the controls. Yeah, it should take you a much shorter amount of time, honestly, to get used to controls, because you're trying to beat the game with set controls. Again, it can just like depend, like some examples I'm thinking of where it would take you like a while to get used to shit is like DMC, because like, you know, even as like you know, Nero, he can feel weird at times when you're starting out. But what's another example? And then yeah, it's still taking me like a while to actually get used to Dante. You know, it take me a whole eternity for me to like be like, you know, like those speedrunners talking about some tree sword, go. You know, like I can't be doing all that. Oh, shit's getting me, man. Oh shit, dude. But yeah, that's one thing. I have a whole section on my Steam page y'all might be seeing it, but I have a whole section on my Steam page where it's saying like hard controls. I think one of them was like gunvolt. Let me look at that shit real quick. I think I listed 19 games on there. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so like one of them I have on there is Ultra Despair Girls, which that one is because of like the Steam version, where I would actually need a controller. Like I'm a pretty much like a hardcore like keyboard warrior when it comes to my PC games. But even with just the mouse, you still need to move with the keyboard. It's like, I'm sorry, and it's like really fucking sensitive, and it doesn't have like a hard lock-on system. Nah, like that's a hard sell for me. I actually need a fucking controller for that one. So that's a case of like actually back controls. I think even switching bullets is like bad too on keyboard. Another one is Rivals of Ether. Like that one's is its own case too. Now these are not the best examples because we're literally talking about ports onto Steam. Okay, then I counted Dive Kick because of how like characters be fucking different as hell and shit. But yeah, like with those games, like even with those games, like the problems in those games can be easily alleviated and explained. But this one, you're gonna be sitting there for over like a minute trying to explain everything, man. Like just look at my shit. I think we're at like 20 minutes of recording, and we're still talking about some bad controls. That's not good, y'all. I don't know about
the different obstacles and scripted sequences, like things just get very, very weird a lot of the time, and you just have to get used to it. And I don't blame anyone for not getting used to it because it is really bad. Now, as far as moveset goes, Sonic has a lot of the same things that he's had in all these 3D style Sonic games. You got the homing attack as usual and the air dash that comes with it.
And that was like the other thing I was thinking about too. Like we're talking about Sonic. People have played Sonic before. Well, that majority have played Sonic before. But chances are, if you're ever playing Sonic 06, you more than likely played like other Sonic games. So like you know the deal when it comes to actually playing as them. And like other characters, if you play any of the other games too. So Sonic has a history of having at least okay controls, but even then that it can really depend. But let's say with the good games, he has bare minimum okay controls. Then you have this game where it's blatantly bad. So especially anyone trying to get into the game after all that experience with them, they'd be like, yeah, fuck this game. He's actually fucking terrible. Like everything I heard people say about Sonic 06, like they're on the money. Fuck this game. I'd rather watch someone else play the game than me actually, playing it a lot myself. Like maybe stream. Maybe the Twitch views, Twitch viewers want me to suffer. Okay. Because I'm doing it for money, but on my own time, yeah, fuck that. Basically, like the deal. So, I hope we're not gonna be here all day looking at this. And like I'm ranting like this. Oh no, man. Hold up.
Though they work differently than they do in all the other Sonic games to a degree. For one, the air dash is not affected by gravity at all like it is in the other Sonic games. When you do the air dash, you completely stop moving vertically and then just launch forward in a straight line. And you can still steer yourself perfectly while doing the air dash. So it feels very different and weird than the air dashes in the other.
It's weird how he says air dash than homing attack, but I'm just saying there. Okay.
3 Sonic games, but again, it actually does feel pretty good. Though it can be a little awkward to platform with because it does move so precisely at a very exact distance, and it's very easy to overshoot the platform you want to dash into, so you kind of have to steer a half circle into the platform to make sure you don't overshoot it. An awkward thing that...
So like, that's the other thing too when it comes to like the air movement. When it comes to like not doing like the normal jump onto platforms, because like that's always been like an issue with Sonic actually when it comes to like level design. You tend to actually try your best to jump onto like small platforms, but you know like the nigga's called Sonic, so he'll more than likely have like high movement speed in the air. So it don't make much sense to have him platform a series of small platforms, especially when they're mad separate onto other platforms, when the easy solution for that one is having just large platforms. And especially when it comes to like the fucking boost games, like that's why boost games have been having like a very fundamental problem, because we're talking about like a platformer and you're trying to like have it like you know do speed shit. I think actually that's like a bit of an issue with even Project 06. But the thing with Project 06 is that it actually has really good acceleration from like the few times I played it. So like that's another solution too. But I would still like recommend Sonic to platform with large platforms. Like it'd be another case entirely if like the small platforms were made by Eggman. Because like at least that would make sense. Okay.
You just have to get used to with this game, but again, you can get used to it. Now, the homing attack in this game is really fucking bad by default for two main reasons. Number one is that when you bounce off...
So I like how he said, why he said to walk back all the time, like, I like how he said that, okay, you can get used to it, and by the way, the homing attack is really fucking bad in this game. Like, how many... Is this gonna be a trend? I'm gonna see what Sonic of such defenders, like them walking back shit. So yo man, we legit acting by like a positive into like a negative in mere seconds. Like dude, that's a little funny to me. I'm sorry.
Off of enemies, there is a huge delay before you're allowed to do the next homing attack. This is me homing attacking this chain of enemies.
Yeah, so like that happens like a lot. Like you can mash the button, and there's still like a good split second, a delay, and no acceleration off of the homing attack. So I think I said before that yeah, the homing attack when you land it is like stiff as hell. That really don't feel good. But I got used to this game though. Like when you say like shit like that, like you're trying to damage control, honestly. So I don't think, or at the very least, it could be interpreted as you try to like damage control
as quickly as I possibly can. The game for some reason just disallows you from homing attacking very quickly like you can in all the other 3D Sonic
okay.
games. This can make dealing with enemies in this game way longer and more awkward than it is in any of the previous 3D Sonic games, because you just can't homing attack enemies very quickly, and for a decent portion of the game, the homing attack is your best offensive option, which can really just make the combat feel clunky. Additionally, remember what I said about how when you jump into the air, you can't change your speed after that? Well, that also counts for bouncing off of enemies off of a homing attack. You see that you bounce, and you have almost no speed whatsoever, and so you cannot maneuver after doing a homing attack almost at all. You basically just go straight up and straight down. The only way to move is to do the air dash, which, as I said, can be a little bit awkward to make sure you don't overshoot platforms and stuff. So it makes the platforming in Sonic 06 feel way more finicky than it has in any of the other 3D Sonic games. However, once again, The mod loader can fix these issues. You can remove the delay on the homing attack so you can take out enemies instantly, and with the improved air control, you get the ability to move around in the air after bouncing off of an enemy from a homing attack. And this essentially fixes all the problems with the homing attack.
And then, like, this is more of a static thing, but it still helps. But, yeah, notice how Sonic, like, does, like, a little trick flip after, like, landing the homing attack. And it's like, yeah, like, because like just doing like the same animation over and over again, like the backflip, like that gets tiring to probably look at, especially when you're trying to like get used to like the whole like stiff ass homing attack like every fucking time with along with with delay. It looks like they made the acceleration like slow coming off of the jump, which yeah, that can be fine. I'm not sure if they actually like increase the jump height, but that also would help too. Especially if it's like it gives you like a oh shit. Especially if it gives you like another like degree of jump height. Depending on how much you press the jump button. So yeah, so much better.
And makes it totally functional and not at all a problem in this game. A new ability added into this game is Sonic has this little kick move that you can do to attack enemies on the ground while still moving, which is nice, I guess, but it's not that useful. There are a couple of applications for it in combat here and there, but generally there are better options available. This game also gives us the return of the spin dash, and Jesus Christ, it is by far the worst spin dash in the entire...
Yeah, so like the main thing about the spin dash is that, okay, well, I guess two things though. One, it's not spammable. You're legit locked in place. Well, like you're legit locked to the ground. Like I said, speed. Like, kind of don't matter how long you charge the spin dash. And then you can't jump out of the spin dash. So it really locks you to the ground for no fucking reason. And yeah, it really fucking sucks in this game. Like, it is easily like the worst spin dash. I think even the spin dash in Shadow the Hedgehog is even better. Then even like Rocket itself, it's not like Heroes. That finicky shit is better than their shit, because usually it gives you good speed, along with you being able to like positively jump out of it, because I think there's a delay before jumping out of it. But still looks better than this.
Entire fucking Sonic series. So first of all, you have to...
It's not even that fast in this game either.
Come to a complete stop to do the spin dash. There's no spam dashing in this game because it's on the same button as the slide kick, which is fine. I don't have a problem with not being able to spam dash necessarily. But by far the biggest issue that the spin dash has in this game is that you cannot jump out of it for
See? Like... So just how much can you fuck up the spin dash? Dude.
Absolutely no reason. I have no idea why this is the case, but it doesn't work. You just can't do it. You can do other actions out of the spin dash, like you can do the slide kick, but you can't jump. And why? What is the point of this? Especially considering that you can jump out of the slide kick if you do it right as you start it. And so functionally, there actually is a way to jump out of a spin dash by doing a spin dash into a kick and then immediately into a jump. So if you can still do it anyway, why did they make it so you can't jump out of a spin dash? That just makes the controls more awkward and makes it so that most players are going to think you can't jump out of a spin dash at all. And speaking of jumping out of spin dashes, another thing that needs to be addressed is how there is no momentum whatsoever when you jump in this game. In all the previous Sonic games, when you jumped with a spin dash or just a lot of speed in general, that speed would carry into your jump and you'd be able to jump large distances, and air drag would slow you down over the course of the jump, but you could still use momentum and speed to jump really far. In Sonic 06, it
On
does
this.
not work like that. The very frame you hit the jump button, you immediately slow all the way down to Sonic's default movement.
So yeah, like that sucks too. Like the jump actually decelerates you and just launch you at a set speed. So like that's a big issue too. Like that makes you be able to like less likely to close gaps. Like I just can't tell you just how much that fucking sucks in this game. But I got used to it. Okay, I know I'm memeing on that line there, but I seem to be is only like defense for this game.
Speed, meaning there is no spin dash jumping in this game of any kind, and that is completely whack. But what are you gonna do about it? Unfortunately, there's no mod to fix that as of yet.
What I'm gonna do is play Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, and if I got this game, put that shit on eBay. Cause damn, GameStop fucked me. Cause like the infamy of like selling shit bad to GameStop is still real. Like when I sold some of my games back before with them, they usually give me like 8 cents or something like that. But with this game, I think I got like fucking 20 cents or like a quarter back. And I know I didn't buy the game on like release, but I think I got the game for like 50 or I think even 30 at the time. I don't remember right now. Just oh my lord, y'all, this game's so bad.
So that covers it for Sonic's standard abilities that you start the game with, but similar to the adventure games, you do gain new abilities over the course of the game in Sonic 06.
Now the only thing about that is that they made it like a whole lot less special because you had to buy them shits instead of you actually going out of your way, finding them, you know, like a neat little like like a neat little thing where they actually show you how cool the equipment is on you. You know, literally you getting like a pair of Jordans, but well, it's even more special than this. But it's pretty much as special as you getting like some good old cosplaying gear. Like you got Decker shoes, like both his like class shoes and his hero shoes in the mail. Like it's special as that shit, and your freaking friend pulls up, you know, telling you how tight this shit. Basically, I don't get elaborate there, but okay. Basically, they lamed the fuck out of like the abilities in this game when it comes to actually getting them, because basically they used to, getting new shit felt special. In the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. More so in 1, the Mobile will agree, but it's also a new fit. So it tells you just how much you progressed in the game over time like that. Like that's something that's really missing in the in the Sonic series, especially these days. Because Sonic just be looking like the exact same nigga from start to finish. Even going into post game, he be looking the same. So that's always been like my issue when it comes to like modern Sonic, especially.
So we got a couple of extra things to cover. For example, the light speed dash is back in this game. And you know what's weird about the light speed dash in this game is that it's so janky and inconsistent in all of the previous 3D Sonic games, and with Sonic 06 being the unfinished.
By the way, like for some reason though, like they never explain this, but for some reason, like it's almost on some Metroid Prime shit or like, on some Metroid shit, but they never explain Sonic losing his abilities, or losing his like the previous fit that he had before. And you can't say that. Oh yeah, maybe he wants to like change it up from ones like today, but keep doing the same from game to game with like all these modern games. So if you really feel like changing, you know, his shit up, he would get new fit each game. You know, straight the fuck up. So y'all can't be using that. Okay, let me see what else he says here.
Broken, shitty piece of garbage that it is, it actually has the first lightspeed dash that works 100% consistently. I have never had an issue with the lightspeed dash in this game, even a single time. If it ever...
Now, yeah, I guess ironically, it's more functional than Adventure 1 and 2. Well, more so Adventure 2. Even Heroes. Because like when I was looking at streams of like Johnny, you know, trying to use it in like fucking Adventure 2, Heroes, and Shout the Hedgehog, like he'd be always scared to like use it because like he knows it'll fuck him. And I've seen that sometimes, like it will actually fuck him. You know, I made him fall to his doom and shit. So I don't know what the programming was for the Lightspeed Dash in this game, but yeah, I feel like they did actually fix it. The only thing about the Lightspeed Dash in this game though is how you had to buy it, and either a nigga has to like tell you to like go to the shop to buy it, or you just find the shop yourself and just fucking get it. But it's like that's gay. Well, you had to get it though. So that's all I say about that.
For triggers, which generally the triggering of it is pretty generous, it will always work 100% of the time. How the fuck this broken game is the one that has the first lightspeed dash that's not broken at all, I don't fucking know, but that's how it is. For other moves you get in Sonic 06, you get what they refer to as the anti-gravity kick, which is basically just a slide kick that you get that you can trigger while running. One weird thing about this move is that it lasts for an extremely long period of time, and you can turn very tightly while using it. So it can become a good option for dealing with lots of enemies on the ground. And also,
I'm sure, like, one would tend to actually use it because, you know, maybe they'd be feeling like the homie type be missing motherfuckers. So I can see someone actually using it as an option for like actual crowd, like the crowd control. Like I won't blame a motherfucker for actually using it for that. So I guess sure, but but the fact that it's still set at like 1 speed though, still don't feel good. Like I'm sorry, dude. That ain't it either.
Also, you're invincible while doing this move, and the normal kick as well. For some reason, I don't exactly know why, but it can be useful in order to just go right through enemies and obstacles sometimes, so that's kind of cool. For the last move Sonic gets in the game, it's the good old bounce returning from SA2. And in general, the bounce functions very similarly to how it did in that game. You can use it to jump up higher. However, another one of those weird 06 things that makes the game feel bad is normally you cannot move while bouncing for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
You're just stuck completely still in the air. However, once again, this can be fixed with the mod loader, enabling you to move while using the bounce, making it work very similarly to how it did in SA2, but now with the added benefit of it being...
Okay, so yeah, hey man, like how about try to like go a good 10 minutes without mentioning like the mod loader? Because like the more you mention it, makes the default game look even worse somehow. Oh shit, dude.
Being pretty good for combat, because this game does have combat in it, kind of similar to what was in Sonic Heroes or Shadow the Hedgehog, but not nearly as fleshed out as either of those games. Basically just a couple of larger enemies will have health bars every now and then, and it'll take multiple hits. And the bounce is very good for dealing with these larger enemies because you hit them multiple times as you're going up and down on the bounce, so you can just bounce on top of them a couple of times and kill them very, very quickly. Overall, the combat with Sonic in this game, I would say, is okay. At the beginning of the game, it kind of sucks a little bit because you don't really have a lot of moves that are good for combat, and so it's kind of just
it still sucks.
Attacking everything for a while. You can occasionally try to use the kick.
And then it can be underwhelming too, because like there legit aren't any hard enemies in this game. All I had to do, because I mean, okay, like this is like an issue for like pretty much all the Sonic games. Like the only enemy that you can be considered as hard are the standing artificial chaos enemies. because they can move in place and be just a little dodgy. But still like okay, and then like their tentacles be like accurate as fuck. But that's strictly with only like Sonic Adventure 2 though. I guess there's also the freaking floating flame. What was it like the freaking flame bot? I keep forgetting what the fuck it's called. And then like the mantis can be hard too, like the older Sonic games. But yeah, basically though, there's very few hard enemies in the Sonic series, so that's always been like a very big issue that the games face. So like the combat is still easy in this game. It's just that it still has that underwhelming feel to it, and it don't solve it. Like there aren't any hard enemies like in this game, and yeah, again the game don't fix that.
Kick or spin dash in the combat, but they're not really that great for it. But once you get things like the anti-gravity and the bounce, you get a couple of different options in how you engage with enemies, and it has a little bit of decision making there in terms of what is the optimal way for dealing with enemies. You know, bigger guys, you want to
optimal and like a little more options for like easy enemies, yeah.
Use the bounce on, but then, you know, groups of enemies, maybe it'd be faster to just homing attack them depending on the circumstances. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible.
It's like, listen man, we're like boring on like some Muso shit when it comes to dealing with enemies in this game. Or like with any of the a lot when it comes to like dealing with enemies in the Sonic games.
I would say, though it does definitely get repetitive over the course of the game, as the combat doesn't really change up very much when playing as Sonic. Another thing to touch on, of course, is grinding, and the way grinding works in this game, honestly, I could not fucking tell you. Balancing is still gone, and in fact, that's gone from the entire Sonic series permanently at this point. I don't know why they got rid of that mechanic. I quite liked it, but it's gone for whatever reason. And while this game does still have like the little flips you can do, I don't actually know if they gain you any speed at all. I think they might or something. Maybe if you like hold forward on the rail while doing it. I'm really not certain. It's hard to tell whether or not this speed...
They really don't though, because like I wouldn't be able to like actually tell if you actually gain like acceleration if you hold the button down. I think it does, because you know, like you see someone doing like a little tricky trick, like on the rail there. But I'd say, yeah, it really don't help you. But I think it's one of those cases where it's like, you know, we want to press it anyway to make it feel just a little less monotonous. But I think they actually fixed that in Project 06. I just didn't keep note of that. But they did fix the rail switching in Project 06 though. Or this game hadn't had that too.
You up at all. If it does, it's a very minuscule amount. So I guess similar to Shadow the Hedgehog, there's no reason not to just do it all the time, I guess, if it even does anything. And as far as rail switching goes, what rail switching? This game has no rail switching mechanic whatsoever. The only way to switch rails is to jump off the rail manually and go to the next rail. Yeah, grinding in this game is definitely the worst it's ever been in the whole Sonic series, in my opinion. So that covers Sonic for the most part, but we're not done talking about characters and abilities yet, because similar to earlier Sonic games, Sonic 06 has multiple different playable characters with different abilities. The way Sonic 06 does it is that there are 3 campaigns in the game, similar to the adventure games, and you'll have 3 characters that you play as in each of these campaigns, with one of them being the main character and the other 2 being kind of like the sidekicks. So the main character gets a lot more moves and abilities and a lot more of the focus of the gameplay, and the sidekicks come in at certain parts of the levels to add a little bit of variety in the play with their different movesets, but they don't have different gameplay styles. It's the same traditional Sonic gameplay that this game has, just everybody has different abilities that lets them platform and fight enemies in different ways. So obviously Sonic's two allies that he has are Tails and Knuckles, and we'll start on Tails. Obviously for one of his abilities he can fly, and the flight in this game is pretty interesting to me because it's kind of an in-between of Sonic Adventure's flying and Sonic Heroes flying. Similar to Sonic Adventure, he kind of controls like he did in the classic Sonic games, where you can hold the button to ascend and let go of it to descend.
This man brought classics. Well, I'm not actually too surprised given how this man's track record has been. You know, the fact that he's kind of literally trying to cover all the Sonic games for his channel, but wow, it didn't take us that long for us to be talking about like classic Sonic game comparisons, man. Oh my god, I still need to do that video though. I was set up for it with pretty much like the top 10 worst and like best Sonic games, but and then like I do need to do a special video talking about the class Sonic games too, but wow, but yeah, well, like the fight in this game, more solid comparison is Sonic Heroes, like the flight ceiling. Like, why the fuck does Tails have a flight ceiling? Like, and it's not even good too. Like, I explain this. Like, I know he had a flight ceiling in you know, even Sonic Adventure 2, but at least that was forgivable. But even then, it's still better because he had a interesting, I guess, flight mode where if he like hovers, if he like flies down a bit, he still will go like, you know, like at an angle. A little hard to like describe, but I wish he had that to give himself like some more bear control, I guess. So it's funny how actually they never used that. But they give Tails a flight ceiling though. Of all things. And then especially like, I wish there was a way to keep track of like how much flight he has, because he will get fucking tired, and then just not be able to fly anymore. So that would mean that's actually worse than both the classic games and in advance, because Tails gets tired and that shit too. But I'd say like it's actually more reliable when he actually runs out of flight, because he gets slower, but it's not that slow in my opinion. Versus this game, you actually kind of drop straight down if you have to run out of flight, and they don't even start with the ring bombs
while flying. And after a certain period of time, Tails will get tired and he'll fall out of the air. But they have significantly reduced how long Tails can fly before he gets tired, like he did in Sonic Adventure. And they have also slowed down his flying considerably, so you're not going to be able to cross insanely gigantic distances with Tails'.
And then yeah, like there's also how like he can't fly that far. It's literally just a few seconds instead of him actually flying for like fucking 10 seconds or so before giving out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one liked that either.
Flight like you could in that game. And additionally, they've implemented the height cap from Sonic Heroes, where once you start flying, you can only ascend.
So it's actually kind of funny how like the Sonic 06 defenders actually love the freaking classic games and Sonic 06, but we say like ignoring this issue with Tails' flight though. Okay.
Is so high, preventing you from just flying straight up and skipping a lot of vertical platforming. And I must say, I actually think this is the best flying Tails has had in a 3D Sonic game, where he feels more...
No! Oh man, we got a big one wrong, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. Tail be flying for like almost like the longest time, man. In Mission 1, especially with fucking loops. What loops in this game? Almost non-existent. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Like how he should, but it's not too overpowered. The only other ability that he has is for combat, and it's very...
But it's balanced. The flight is balanced in this game. So some overpowered, like... I think he's actually talking about in Mission 1 in that game. Dude, I don't give... Look, that was the best fucking flight in all the Sonic games. Like, dude, I'm not even fucking joking. Like, not only did it look so much fucking better, Tails, like, get this man five loops, like 5 air rings. He's crossing countries with that shit, man. Like, oh my god, that shit was so fucking good. Like, it makes me wonder how I even lost to Eggman when I was a kid on like the last stage. Like, oh my god, man. I'm sure you can say that he kind of needed it, but he still flew like the acceleration, like the height adjustment he had while flying, out of this world. And motherfucking Adventure 1, dude. I love playing fucking Tails and that shit. I don't know where to start with that. Then the freaking tail attacks, like, sure, like the tail attacks are kind of useless, but I still say I could possibly beat the game minus the try hunting stuff with just Tails. He was that fucking good.
Very weird where he throws these dummy bombs, which what the fuck is this supposed to be?
What the fuck was that?
This is so bizarre, but it's functional at least. You can throw them at enemies and they take them out relatively.
I think that's him censoring himself, because that's another weird issue that some of these commentary channels be having, with like self-censoring, and they make it fucking weird, like that, especially.
Relatively easily, and because
each individual
has a hitbox on it that can hit enemies, you can actually kill enemies very quickly depending on how the physics and...
It's like, yo man, just tell Yuji to fuck off. Because I think it's like, words like suicide, bomb, kill, of course grape, what's another one? It's like they seem to like a whole lot of words like themselves, and dude, go on another platform with that shit. Like, I'll be like appreciating free channels that be doing that shit, man.
Collision ends up working.
Like, I'd much rather that they do it, but why do it how Max be doing it, where he like censors like the first few swear words, like offensive, or what can be interpreted as censorship, right? Interpreted as like offensive language, but then you be seeing him saying, but you be seeing him saying fucking fuck damn shit, and a whole lot of swear words, like a lot later on in the video. I like that a whole lot more.
Working out in your favor, though there is kind of a lot of randomness to that. Though you do get locked in place quite substantially when using this move, which makes it kind of take a little bit long and be a bit inefficient for combat. However, when you're flying, you can drop bombs all day long super quickly, and there's no animation for it whatsoever. So you can just be death from above, bombing people from the sky, which, now that I think about it, is a pretty appropriate way to have Tails fight enemies, isn't it? So that's Tails. He controls pretty okay, I would say. The flying...
I don't believe so, because like the bombs are really awkward. Now, it can be fun as you just spam bombs on enemies from above and shit, but my thing is that you can't aim them. Like, they're only considered like efficient when you just spam them out from like above and shit, but on the ground, shitty. Like, dude, like, because like you can't it literally takes Tails like a whole another like few seconds to actually throw out the next bomb. It's very likely by the time he like throws out another one, he's already hit. So if only they made him efficient on the ground as well as like on as well as like in the air. But even in the air, I wish there was a way to like lock on to enemies, because they can actually like miss the enemy when you just spam them out like that. Especially in like open fields, man. Especially then, they can be hard to like hit enemies.
Works very well, and the bombs, while weird, I mean, they work, they're fine, so I kind of have no issues with controlling Tails in this game.
So you're okay with just functional, okay.
Minus just, you know, the general 06 jank. Now, moving on to Knuckles, he has a lot of the standard abilities that, you know, you would expect from Knuckles at this point in the series. He can punch enemies, he can glide, and he...
Knuckles control like total ass in this game. Like, he's probably like the second worst character to like control, which the number one character easily going to motherfucking excuse me, easily going to Amy. Now, thank God the man that was doing Sonic 06, he made Amy good in PO6. Wait until we get to her.
He can climb walls. Now, the climbing is something that is very infamous in Sonic 06, because in the normal game, there's a...
It's also very weird how Knuckles seems to stun enemies when after he like lands the drill claw move. And it has like a weird range to it. I know it's been narrowed on to be doing something like that. And it's like, it'd be another thing. It'd be one thing if it made like an earthquake, but apparently like this man met static and got like the gloves off of him or some shit. Like, yo, what the well, he like learned Chidori or something, I don't fucking know, man. Like, that's always been weird to me. Like, even when I saw that, I was like how do they just get stunned like that? And then yeah, like his like 1-2-3 combo was like jank as fuck too, like really fucking stiff shit.
The issue where Knuckles will get like stuck to the wall and you'll try to jump off of it and you'll just instantly grab back on, and you'll just end up repeatedly mashing the jump button going, please get off the wall, please get off the wall, please get off the wall, and you're just like stuck and you just have to derp around and try to make it so that you can eventually escape. However, once again, this is something that can be fixed with the mod loader.
Thank God.
You can completely remove this problem from the game, making Knuckles climbing work just how it should. The other things he can do is he has the drill claw dive move thing, kind of from Sonic Adventure 2. However,
it's also weird how he has like a forward drill claw move. I forgot the input for it, but it's very similar to Blaze's. So I'm saying here, it's weird how they have like the same move virtually.
However, in this game, it is so fucking garbage. I can't even describe it in words. You just look at it for yourself. It's so bad. It's so terrible. The last ability you have with Knuckles is that if you hold the attack button with him for a little bit to charge up, then you can unleash and do this like diving, spinning, jump kind of move. And this move is actually pretty useful for getting around because Knuckles is slow as fuck in this game. Holy shit. Like, you thought Sonic was slow? Just running around with Knuckles, he is like molasses in this game. So you generally want to avoid just running around with Knuckles because of how slow he is. And this is your fastest way to get around, so his platforming and movement in general kind of turns into finding as many opportunities as possible to do this diving leap as you can.
They basically use as much jank as possible to progress in stages. Okay.
And it actually makes his platforming pretty fun and fast-paced.
That don't mean good. Like, here we go, Thomas on fun. Like, the last dude I covered, be Thomas on fun. That would totally be good.
So Knuckles, while he's pretty awkward in general in the game, I actually kind of like him. So that
don't mean good either. Like, saying that you like something is like subjective, and like saying something's fun is subjective too, man. So you're not building yourself a good case here.
Covers this trio and their abilities and controls, but we're not quite done yet as far as the Sonic campaign goes, because there's a couple of other methods of play that Sonic has unique to him. Firstly, there are 2 levels in the game where Sonic will be carrying Elise around, and while playing like this, Sonic does lose access to some of his abilities, but he also gains access to another ability unique to only when he is carrying around Elise, which is where the meter starts to come into his gameplay, because you can spend the meter to create this shield around you that not...
Well, yeah, finally the meter works, huh? Friggin', all you do is like have Sonic carry Elise and have the fucking fire shield up. I like that basically what that shield is.
Not only protect you from attacks and enemies, but it will also enable you to walk on quicksand or on top of water, which is a mechanic, I guess, but it's not really that interesting per se. You just hold the button down anytime you have to run over water or quicksand. Yeah, there's a little meter management you have to do, but it's pretty generous overall, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh my god, what the hell?
The meter automatically
I know y'all saw that.
anytime you're running around on the ground, and it fills pretty quickly, so it's not really difficult to make sure you always have the meter you need. Lastly, Sonic has a couple of what are called Mach speed sections, where I guess they decided, oh yeah, this...
Oh my god, here we go. Mach speed sections, too. Mach speed sections. Oh my god. I hate this shit so fucking much, man. In this game, it's like, what was the board member meeting for like this shit? So yeah, we're gonna make Sonic actually go fast in like stages, right? But we didn't have time to actually make it good. But we're gonna put it in anyway. Like, no, like they should just kept that shit out. Like, if they kept that shit out, I wouldn't have given a fuck. Pretty sure no one would have given a fuck, okay? Like, especially if it's that unfinished, you might as well take the fuck out. And be like, so this is like footage of like how the Mach speed sections would have looked like. And we kept it out because we weren't sure how it would be perceived. But we didn't feel like it was good. Like, if they told us that shit, I wouldn't have given a fuck. But they kept it in. And shitty.
This is a Sonic game. We should probably go fast at some point. So you go into these auto runner sections where Sonic is just moving forward at incredibly high speed all on his own, and you basically just have to steer left and right and jump over obstacles to get him to the end of this section.
Also, not surprising, but the Incredibles game isn't good either. So funny how he actually has this a little side by side with that one.
And once again, another piece of stupid 06 jank that you can fix with mods is that normally in these sections, when you jump in the air, you completely lose control of Sonic whatsoever. You cannot steer left or right when you're jumping for some reason. But you can fix that with mods and control him normally while in the air, which makes these sections play a whole lot better. But in general, they're still not great. They're okay. One interesting thing about these...
Wait, I know he not say that.
Air, which makes these sections play a whole lot better. But in general, they're still not great. They're okay.
Oh god, that was
close. One interesting thing about these is that Sonic is not actually running at his fastest by default in these Mach speed sections. For some reason, if you do a light speed dash, then after the light speed dash, Sonic will be running much faster than he does normally.
Yeah.
You can see his running animation change like that. So if you want to go as fast...
That's also a very weird thing too. Apparently Sonic needs more than freaking dash panels to actually change his animations to like top speed Sonic. So what happened to natural acceleration, y'all? Like, that's just a really weird design decision. Like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Oh, hopefully not Azuka. Well, I think Azuka was I was actually not a part of this project, so. Hold on, let me look at something just real quick. Give me a good minute. Oh man, Yuji Naka. Oh shit. Chief programmers, where the fuck were y'all? Like all two of y'all. There's a ton of fucking programmers. Yo man, this is a good dozen, dude. Programmers, what the fuck were y'all doing? How is there a dozen programmers but the fucking gameplay is still this shitty? Wow. Field artists. Y'all failed in like a whole lot of areas. 2 storyboarders. Yo, like, and then the music composers, like, I think might because of like a whole lot of like being from the help of Jun Sonoe, but how the fuck though are we going to have like 6 composers, but they did a whole lot better, like 7. How are we gonna have that many composers, like have it half the size of the programmers, but they did better than the programmers? So what happened here, people? Like, okay, now I am seeing though there's like a bunch of actually other musicians and arrangers. It's like, okay, yo, who was part of the game design team? Because it could be a case of, yo, oh my god. So like there's like a total of like 8 game designers for this game. How y'all gonna have like 8 game designers, 2 being chief, but did a worse job than the very few game designers for Forces? That's just atrocious, dude. What the fuck?
Possible, it becomes a pretty good idea to basically light speed dash as often as possible in these sections. So with that, we are now finished talking about characters and controls as far as the Sonic campaign is concerned. So now we can start talking about the game overall. And the first thing that I want to address is probably the biggest issue that Sonic 06 has, which is the loading screens. Holy shit, are they bad. I mean, everybody knows about the infamous loading screens of Sonic 06. Primarily just because of how many of
want to be like, but here's
them there are. There are so many loading screens that you have to sit through constantly in this game, and they take a fair amount of time.
I'm sorry, like I'm waiting for, you know, him being like, but I was able to make a sandwich all in time where I had to wait like 30 seconds. Like, oh shit, I clicked the wrong shit.
Of the game, because you do get a pretty sizable amount of gameplay separating the loading.
Whoa.
Primarily just because of how many of them there are. There are so many loading screens that you have to sit through constantly in this game, and they take a fair amount of time, about like 10 to 15 seconds each one. It's not that bad when you're playing.
He says not that bad. Wow. He said it's not that bad to have all the loading screens in 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds each. Dude, what the fuck? Pariah, no, don't do this. Oh no. Oh. I was waiting for it, man. I had a fucking feeling. Maybe this was the point where I was like, yo man, I can't stomach this shit. I had to make a bail on this nigga so I can get through
the main levels of the game, because you do get a pretty sizable amount of gameplay separating the loading screen.
You would get even more solid gameplay if it weren't for all these damn loading screens being long and plentiful. Far too plentiful.
Well, when you're doing basically anything else in the game, you will get loading screens back to back to back, constantly thrown at you with very little gameplay in between, and it absolutely destroys the pacing of the game.
But it's not that bad.
Sonic 06 is probably the most poorly paced video game I have ever played.
But it's not that bad, man.
Solely due to these loading screens. However, by playing the game on my PC...
It's like, well, I gotta go... What we just witnessed was... how he was explaining the whole loading screen situation was straight up negative. There's like a whole lot of loading screens. Positive, it's not that bad. Negative again, this is like the worst pace video game I've ever fucking played in my life. Not a positive. Like what the fuck happened here, man? Like, pick a side, dude. Either be on the right side, bashing the game that's one of the worst games made possible, or be on the wrong side and just excited the game. And you had to get flamed, and you had to accept that shit. He posted it on the fucking internet. Let's do something mad fucking dumb right now. Oh my god.
PC on Xenia, the loading screen issue of this game is addressed quite substantially, because look at how quick the loading time is.
Now, of course though, here we go with the friggin' emulator fixing issues. Which, by the way, yeah, a whole lot of stuff that you're trying to defend. The emulator, the fucking the mod loader, he had to go out of his way to fix them shits. The guy that made the mods had to go out of his way to fix them shits. I was like, dude, what am I witnessing?
It goes down from like 10 to 15 seconds to like 2 or 3. It makes this problem basically completely go away, because now all the
but it's still that bad in the original game, man.
loading times are negligible. This substantially improves the pacing of the game and makes it feel a lot better.
I'm very sure Emka told you that, but I'm just saying that.
This alone, if you ask me, is worth playing this game on Xenia, because holy shit, the difference between having to sit through all these loading screens and not, oh my god, it's such a big deal.
It's funny how he wants to like censor the word bomb, but not censor like his like cursing. It's like what are we doing here?
If you haven't played this game for yourself, you don't even know. I think I've made it pretty clear up to this point that I think this game has...
So like if he plays friggin' All-Star Battle, we'll have to like censor himself saying when he had to literally censor like the whole explanation of how Killer Queen works. Like, well, he also like censored like the word killer.
A lot of problems, so many fucking issues constantly piling on top of each other. It's quite a problematic game, obviously. It has its reputation for a reason. While there are a lot of issues, there are still parts of this game that I think are decently strong and pretty fun, and that is, of course, the core gameplay in the main levels. Of course, you do have to deal with all of the Sonic 06 troubles of all the jank and all the issues and the bugs and all that stuff. And while the mod loader fixes a lot of these problems, it doesn't fix all of them, so there's still a number of problems here. But if you can put up with the problems, which is not something new for these 3D Sonic games, they all have issues in their core gameplay.
But this is still way the fuck worse than all the issues combined, dude. You saw all them. You showed us, and you saw all them freaking lists of fixes that this game would actually need to be an actual good game. To at least play like a good game. That was, dude, I can't tell you just how many shits there were that this game needed for just the mod loader, by the way. And I ain't talking about PL6, which Makes a whole lot more than even all them shits.
I mean, Sonic Heroes is my favorite one of these types of Sonic games, and that game is jank as fuck.
Heroes is your favorite? Ooh. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's more valid than this shit, but that's a bit rough.
So if you're a fan of these adventure-style 3D Sonic games, dealing with issues is something that at this point you would be very experienced at.
Well, it still don't compare to Sonic 06, man.
As I am. And so once you actually get used to all of this game's troubles, you can actually start to find the fun in it, because it is still very similar to all.
If you're talking about the default experience of this game, fun don't mean good. Like, even this guy got that shit mixed up.
All of these types of 3D Sonic games with a lot of the same strengths in terms of the gameplay that I really like. They're not exactly as good as they are in most of those earlier 3D Sonic games. There's definitely more problems here, but there is still fun to be had, in my opinion, in Sonic 06 if you enjoy this type of Sonic gameplay. And in a way, I almost find how fucking shitty this game is to be kind of funny.
Yo, man, like, he has to walk back what he says, like, every fucking sentence. Like, it is incredible. And then also, like, I remember in the very beginning of this video, he was like, okay, let's see what I can, no, man, like, so many people have like, addressed the issues in, like, Sonic 06. I'm not sure how I can make my stance, like, unique on it. It's been covered so fucking much. And then, like, I guess not far into playing the game, he's like, I know. I will dick suck some of the game. And then bash some others, and then bash some other aspects. Like, that's still not all that unique, man. Like, so it's like, don't even fucking worry about trying to, like, stand out from the crowd, because this ain't new, man. I recovered like a guy that's a bit worse than how your stance on this, but yeah, getting through this is not easy for me, because listen, man, I'm not spoiled with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Heroes. Everything else was, and Riders. It's on about it to a certain extent. But I will tell you, like, anyone can tell you that this game's still not fucking good. Like, not by a mile. Like, it has, like, lack of quality in spades, dude. It's not even funny.
You know, a lot of people talk about so bad they're good movies that you enjoy because of their faults, and Sonic 06 is definitely a game like that, where you'll encounter some weird-ass bug and you'll go flying through space, and it's amusing in its own way, while still also managing to provide some genuinely fun traditional 3D Sonic gameplay. That said, I don't want to overstate how much fun this game is, because it's definitely not as good as any of the previous 3D Sonic games overall, because of all the issues, the physics problems, you know, the general design of everything just isn't as good as it was. You know, the lack of momentum jumping with the spin dash and stuff like that, it's missing a lot of that spice that the other games had. There's definitely nothing here on the level of the Sonic.
But the low screen isn't that bad, man.
Heroes team swapping with all your different abilities stuff that I really loved there. And actually, I did kind of find myself starting to get a little bit bored playing through the Sonic campaign. However, that is because I
got a little bored getting through the Sonic campaign. Like, see how he has to do, you should, like the last guy, you should realize just how much of a bad situation that you're already in, dude. So let's just acknowledge that, yeah, this game's still fucking bad. instead of just finding ourselves trying to like praise like whatever, um, not even nugget of like gold, but whatever bronze we can actually get out of this mine here. That's where we're getting at.
I have yet to talk about the part of Sonic's gameplay that
like it might take me like an hour to like get this copper, but this is still some good copper though.
really makes it super fun, which is what y'all have been waiting for.
Super.
The gems. So another thing that Sonic can purchase in the store.
Oh no, the gems. Here we go. Okay, I don't think the last guy really talked about the gems that much, but oh yeah, like, I'm certain it's like fun to like break a broken game even further with like post game shit. Okay, man. That's how bad we got.
Door late into the game is he can collect 7 gems that each grant him different abilities, and these gems are very, very interesting and really add a cool layer to Sonic's gameplay. This is what the meter in the bottom right-hand corner for Sonic is supposed to do. It's supposed to govern how much you can use your gems. However, due to a bug, because this is Sonic 06 and this game is a fucking train wreck, the meter doesn't work. You can use all of your gem abilities as much as you want, unlimitedly, which is totally fucking busted. However, this is something that you can fix with the mod loader, and so I opted to fix it and try to use these gems the way that they were intended to. So now let's actually talk about the gems themselves and what they do. So first of all is the blue gem. And what this does is it gives you a big burst of speed, kind of like hitting a dash panel. And this...
No, yeah, I was about to say too. I really don't like using the blue gem because I really don't like how you can still bump into shit after you press like... After you like click to or just, you know, like right after you activate the blue gem. So I really don't be using that one. Like maybe if we're talking like an open field, I would use it, but otherwise nah. Especially like getting around town, you especially don't want to use it. Oh, excuse me. And then like the red gem, I found myself using like the red gem like the most. If not that, there's a purple gem. I think so, because if I remember right, the purple gem was the one that makes you small but gives you infinite jump. That dank ass shit.
Gem actually makes you feel a bit like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, this is the kind of speed that I would expect to just normally go at in a Sonic game. However, one issue that this has, because this is Sonic 06 and everything has issues in this game, is that normally...
Keep that in mind too, everything has issues in this game.
This game has a feature in it that a lot of the 3D Sonic games of this style have that I haven't talked about in any of the previous videos up to this point, that I just don't understand why they implemented this. This is the stupidest fucking feature to put in a Sonic game. For some reason, in these adventure-style 3D Sonic games, they decided that if you're moving at really high speed and you run flat into a wall, then your character should, like, bonk into the wall and fall on the floor and...
Now listen, while that was like a thing in Sonic Adventure 2, Adventure 1, I can't remember like when that actually happened to me, and 100% of the game, but I'd say it's much rarer. It might be just much rarer in Adventure 1 like that, but at least Adventure 2, you can just get back up like it's nothing, where it really won't hurt your rank, where this one, it takes you like a whole second till I get back up, and that fucking sucks. And not only that, but this is just from a gem. Like, this essentially doesn't happen with like Sonic's default speed, but it's less likely to happen with Sonic's default speed because he's slow in this game. So it's literally the gem giving you issues, man. Like, don't blame like other games for like that shit. Like, that's the reason why you haven't said it in all the other Sonic videos, cause the game make you cause this gem. I already said that's why I don't be using it.
You lose control of them until they get back up on their feet. Why the fuck you would put this in a Sonic the Hedgehog game, I have no fucking idea. This totally messes with the flow and makes the game feel like trash. And it also makes the blue gem incredibly difficult to use as you are...
That's more like it, man. I'm about to say, like, if you don't just blame the blue gem outright, and then, yeah, also don't show footage if you're using it in town. Especially like the worst place to use it.
Are constantly running into shit with it. However, with the mod loader, we can remove this feature, allowing you to just slide up along surfaces like you would expect to, making the blue gem much more viable to use. And
very good chance that Part 06 fixed that too, but I just haven't double checked that myself.
Making it pretty fun. Anyway, next gem is the red gem, and this gem slows down time. If you look at this NPC walking here, you can see that when the meter is draining, he's walking slower, but when I release it, he starts walking at normal speed again. This is obviously very useful for like combat and stuff when you're in the main levels. What's particularly interesting about the red gem is that not only does it slow down the game around you, it also slows down the in-game timer, making it possible for you to get a much better time than you would be able to otherwise by very aggressively using the red gem, which is something very interesting that I quite like. I'll talk about time attacking this game later on. Next gem is the green gem, and this lets Sonic do this tornado kick move, which is basically just an AoE attack that'll...
Yeah, it's basically like the second worst gem out of like the other gems, because you have to stop in place like y'all just saw there. What can kind of save it though is like potentially like mashing while you're dropping with it, because you have like more opportunities to like hit shit with it. But what's still odd though is like the range of it. Like you don't have a good idea of like what the range is. So I think that's something that even PL6 didn't fix, but again, I'd like really double check that like on my own time.
Hit any enemies around Sonic. Unfortunately, it doesn't do very much damage. It just does the same amount of damage as a normal homing attack.
And yeah, it's like relatively weak too. Even for like it's a tornado move. Like it should do like way more damage than it should.
Would, and the animation is so long that it's not really useful for taking out larger enemies that have a couple of hit points to their health bar, but it is pretty good for taking out large groups of small enemies that die in one hit anyway. However, the animation is still pretty long and you're locked into it. You can't do anything to cancel this animation, so it's still not the best thing for fighting enemies. Except for one little wrinkle, which is that when you do it in the air, then the tornado kick animation automatically gets canceled halfway through when you start falling. And the airborne version of the move works exactly like the grounded version, so it actually makes the grounded version of the kick totally worthless, because you can just jump in the air and then instantly do the tornado kick really close to the ground and basically get the exact same effect, but with a much shorter animation that makes it much more viable for combat. Now, the next gem is the purple gem, and this is one of the most fucked up ones in the game. So what the purple gem does, for whatever reason, is it shrinks Sonic down to a tiny size, and I don't know why the fuck it does this, because this shrinking effect doesn't do anything. The actual effect of the purple gem, which I don't know if this is an intended feature or a bug, is that you can do infinite jumps in the air. You can just jump, 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 and just keep it going.
It then looks like it actually makes you go higher up too, man. Oh, it's just hilarious. That's so dank, man.
For as long as you want. This is the gem that is most affected by the fact that normally in the game the gems don't drain your meter, because it means you can just fly with Sonic using this gem and just cross whatever size gap you want and go as high as you want. It's
oh man, Tails will be jealous.
Very easy to go out of bounds with this, go outside the level.
And then Knuckles will be jealous. Like any character that can just naturally fly is so jealous of this gem, dude. I'm mad if they have that shit.
Skip so much of the level design, it's totally fucking broken. With the meter functional, it's not as broken because the meter will drain and you will eventually no longer be able to do jumps. However, there is a loophole in this that still makes it pretty abusable, which is that the meter only drains while you're holding the button that makes you small, enabling you to do multiple jumps. So all you have to do is alternate between holding and releasing the shrink button, and you can extend the length of how long you can go, basically to make any skip that you would want to. It's still very, very...
Bro, that sounds some fucking... that sounds some like Omega shit. That sounds some silver shit in the original game. But this is even worse somehow. Because you're gaining height, dude. You still gain height.
Very abusable. And this same tech can also be used with the shield that you get with Elise, allowing you to walk along water and sand way more than you're supposed to. So still pretty broken. But if you want to talk about a broken gem, then we need to talk about the Sky Gem. This is my personal favorite gem. This one is fucking awesome. It is totally insane. So the way that the Sky Gem works is you can hold the button and Sonic will charge up a throw, and then you'll throw the Sky Gem wherever you aim it, and once it hits a piece of collision, it kind of acts sort of like, I guess, a grappling hook you can call it, where it will just instantly fling Sonic toward that destination. This obviously has lots of applications for skipping stuff through.
And then, like, what it also kind of does is, like, sling him upward. like when actually made contact with where the gem was being placed or whatever. So that's a weird function in and of itself. Oh my god, like, this shit is just weird, dude. Like, yo, man, like, what the fuck? God, dude. Oh my god. So, like, if it ain't the purple gem or, like, the freaking red gem, just use the freaking neon blue gem and you're just fucking getting S range left and right, basically, though. Because you can just skip a whole lot of shit, especially if you land on, like, the best high spots. Especially then, man. Like, it like zips you to, like, the friggin' it zips you to, like, the target with, like, in, like, no time. Like, dude, like, on some instant transmission shit, dude. I'm not even joking.
Throughout the levels, which is very cool. But what's interesting about the way that the Sky Gem functions is that the speed that you will launch at the thing at is dependent on how far away Sonic is from the point that the gem hits. And interestingly, you don't just stop once you hit the destination on the gem, especially when you hit walls. What actually happens is that your momentum is kind of preserved, and then you will slide up against the collision, and you can use this to achieve some incredibly bizarre effects. For example, you can also throw the gem in the air, and Sonic will just do like a pre-canned throw arc that he always does when in the air. And if you go right up against the wall and then just throw from the air right when you're touching the wall, then there's a good chance that Sonic is going to get launched upward, but since he immediately hits the destination of the gem, that momentum that he has and all that speed just keeps on sending him upward.
Look at this.
You can use it to basically jump ridiculously fucking high. But even more fun than that is that since the further away you are from the destination, the faster you launch. If you can throw the gem at a wall really high and manage to get close to the wall before the gem hits it, you will go to the end of the universe.
I was like, oh no, but I didn't get that bad. No, what's the acceleration? Oh. Oh, yo, what the fuck? Oh man, that's how you know they didn't test that shit. You're not supposed to go beyond the skybox. I guess that's why they call it the Sky Gem, because they knew that would happen. I want to fly high, so I can't reach the beginning of the universe. Like, dude, what the fuck? So I can't touch the moon. Face ass, like, dude.
This is totally fucking busted, but so much fun to fuck around
I'm sure it is fun because you broke the game.
with. I love
You're on some Icarus shit. You're trying to go to the sun with that shit.
just experimenting with the Sky Gem. Even in the hub worlds, they just become super fun playgrounds for you to throw this thing around and see what you can make happen. See how high into the stratosphere you can get and see if you can hit the kill box at the very top of the universe. And of course,
God,
in
dude.
levels, this is very practical for lots
I've
of
actually
shortcuts,
seen-
particularly for getting over
Oh, look at that
invisible
shit.
walls, where the game tries to prevent you from just skipping the whole section of the level. This is what I was talking about where I say the gems are really what makes Sonic 06 fun for me, because they kind of meet at this beautiful intersection between genuinely fun gameplay to use shit like the Sky Gem.
I'm not surprised because you're breaking the game. And again, that's already a broken ass game. On some bounce, there's no bounce here. We've been fucked the rules.
While also being amused by how fucking broken this is. It's both ridiculous and insane that this is even possible in a video game, and also really useful and practical and fun, while also being fairly skill-based, because you have to manually aim the gen and kind of predict what the drop arc is going to be, and also the trajectory that Sonic is going to travel on based on his position in the air. There's actually a fair bit of depth to using the Sky Gem that makes it really fun in so many ways.
That's so weird, dude.
But I can't just gush about the Sky Gem forever, so let's move on to the last two gems. Fortunately, they are barely worth talking about. So the White Gem just lets you do a charged homing attack, so you can just float there in the air and you can do it as long as you fucking want.
Like the White Gem, I never be using that shit. With like how it looked, I figured it was gonna actually make your homing attack stronger. Which interestingly, I don't think there's the ability that makes Sonic be able to do that shit. So I think that's something so you should definitely make a thing. But unfortunately, it just like redirects you while you're in midair in like one spot. So it's actually gay. I never be using the White Gem. I stay forgetting like it's a thing too. Like freaking like we're also in debug mode with these fucking gems, man.
And then you release and do a homing attack. But this homing attack isn't really any more powerful than a normal homing attack. It doesn't do extra damage, right?
See, like even he like Loki commented like on it, like that's disappointing, dude.
Anything like that. I think that if you charge it, then it can stun enemies, but
Nah.
that's not really very useful. So the White Gem is basically just garbage.
Yeah.
And the Yellow Gem enables you to
The Yellow
just
Gem.
manifest an electric shield around you, because the electric shield power-up is not in this game normally as like a pickup you can find.
It's weird.
It's only available through the Yellow Gem, but this also means that you can just materialize electric shields whenever the hell you want, which is kind of OP, again, in a way that is actually
Now what's what's weird though is that it doesn't magnetize rings to you. I figure that'd be something that'd be easy to actually program, especially with what they did at this point. But yeah, not that be too helpful. It's like negligible, but yeah, I think this, if I remember right though, the shield can actually like reduce damage. It like it actually prevents damage. Like the mod version case, you usually need meter for it, but in the default game though, you can just have it pop up whenever. But again, if I remember right, because I'll be using it that much. But yeah, I don't think that's skill based at that point, man. Like it's literally the game on easy mode. Okay, hold up. Okay.
pretty fun. Which is where I need to talk about that, like, even though we can use the mods to make the gems drain the meter in the way they're supposed to, it still doesn't really make much of a difference. Pretty much the only gems that are affected by it very much are the red gem and the purple gem, because everything else barely uses meter at all. I mean, look at the sky gem. For how crazy, insanely powerful its effect is, it uses almost like no meter to throw a gem. And the yellow gem, same thing. You'd think being able to just create an electric shield would have quite a bit of a cost to it. But no, it's only like 10% of your meter, and the meter works the same way it does when you're running around with Elise. It'll just refill whenever you're running around on the ground pretty quickly. You have to do a little bit of meter management just to make sure that you don't have to sit there and wait for the meter to recharge, but other than that, you have pretty much free reign to use whatever you want, as much as you want, whether the meter works or not. But I feel like this is probably because this is not the meter that Sonic is supposed to have, because there's kind of two types of meters in this game. There's the ones where it starts full and you can use it and then it will refill while you're on the ground, or there's the meter like what Shadow has, where it starts empty and you fill it up by killing enemies, and so you get significantly less meter to work with overall. And I feel like that's the type of meter this was intended to be programmed with, because then you would have to kill enemies and just get small amounts of meter and then weigh the options of which gem do you want to use with the little bit of a meter that you have, and save meter, you know, for smaller things to be able to use bigger things later on.
So I noticed that too, like the mod version actually magnetizes the rings to you, which I was like, yeah, just how hard is that to actually program if you know how to do that? I'm kind of sure that if you know like the code for it, it's actually easy to implement. So like, there's like a whole lot of things when it comes to like the programming and even like the design choices in this game where it's like, I do wonder like how much resource that y'all were able to actually be able to like implement. It would take like little time to actually put in the game. It kind of feels more like just to like give y'all a little thinking piece here. It feels a lot more like the team had 2 days, maybe in a few hours, up to no more than like a week to actually program the rest of the game, and they missed like a whole bunch of like notes, and then they're like, oh shit, we are just running out of time. And then like they go up to the director and they be like, oh yeah, we don't have much time. It's okay to just shut the game out. And they're like, look man, I already paid you, just go home. And they're like, okay. It feels more like that, honestly. Oh my lord, dude. Because a whole lot of these are just simple fixes, dude.
On things like that. But as it is, even with the pre-programmed in meter that the game came with, is pretty busted. But honestly, you know what? That's perfectly fine by me, because using these gems is by far the most fun thing about Sonic.
It's fun by you, and as long as it's fun, I mean, sure, like that's the reason why you play games, just to have fun. But when we're talking about this video, isn't called Sonic Was Always Fun. It says what? Sonic was always good. You even try to like give like a little caveat at the very beginning of the video saying this series might be always be it might be called Sonic Was Always Good, but there is obviously some exceptions, and you were trying to say it like this is still not one of the exceptions, like this game is actually good when it ain't. Like, I actually like to hear like an argumentation for that, saying like whatever is fun is like good. But yeah, I think you're having a much harder time when you compare games to other games, and then especially too if I were to like bring in like the fact that it really feels like we step down in quality in terms of game quality, and the fact that Sega actually doesn't give a fuck about quality, and they didn't, predating to by the start of that being around the time that Sonic Unleashed rolled around. No. Sonic Colors rolled around. Which makes sense, because that was when people were saying shit like, well, we're in the dark age of Sonic. And then there's how people outside the fan base shits on the series. Like Frontiers is its own thing. I'll get to it later. But yeah.
Sonic's gameplay in Sonic 06. His gameplay normally is okay. It's kind of just the traditional Sonic Adventure type gameplay, but just worse than it's ever been.
He dares to compare it to Sonic. He compares to. Okay, he dares to compare it to Adventure 2. Adventure 2 is so much better than all shit. It's not even funny. And then he bars until you say it's worse than it's ever been, because yeah, you're literally comparing like freaking 8 to 9 to a game that's a 3 on a good day, which is almost never. Like, it can touch the rating of a 3 with the gems, apparently. Okay, man. Fucking clown ass motherfucker.
Before, but these gems add a layer to this gameplay that is so much fun, because it's kind of similar, again, to Sonic Adventure, where that game was a generally pretty solid game overall, but you could totally...
Generally pretty solid. That game was excellent. Fuck out of here.
Just skip everything and break the entire game using the spin dash and spin dash jumping. This game enables you to do the same thing, but not with the spin dash. Instead, you get to use these gems, which I almost prefer in a way, because it's not nearly as one note as just constantly...
What's great about the gems too, by the way, is how they're like post-game. By the way, like, you can't use these shits in the main game.
Spam dashing like SA1. Here in this game, along with the traditional...
Now, like, while that's actually interesting on paper, though, an even better version of that is actually at the end of Generations, but we don't be talking about that, where like a whole slew of upgrades are just like available to you by the end of the game. I may have to go over that, but every time I look back at that, I'm actually impressed with what they give you. And again, that's just Generations.
Sonic gameplay, you have this bag of tricks that you can pull out for all these different situations, and pretty much all of the gems are useful, except for the white gem, which is garbage, but all the other gems absolutely...
Like the white gem and the blue gem.
Absolutely have applications where you can figure out ways to use all of them, and so you feel like fucking Batman or something playing these levels, constantly switching through these gems in order to use the right one for the right situation, and finding what is the best way to break the game to get through this section as quickly as possible. It is really fucking fun. Another thing that's in this game that is...
Again, I have to keep saying it, but that don't mean good.
Totally fucking baffling to me that they bothered to make...
Okay, so it's better for like this video. 2 main fallacies here, just so I iron it out, and I guess drill it into your head. Just because you say it's fun, and I got used to the controls, that don't mean good game. Sorry to break it to you.
This is that in addition to all of the normal levels that you can play through, there is a hard mode variant of every single main level in the game with all of the characters. And it's just such a bizarre thing to me. Like, this game is so unfinished. It had so many development problems. Why would you waste development resources and time making new variants of levels when the base variants aren't even fucking finished? What the hell were their priorities when making these levels? Jesus Christ. And
well, apparently they didn't have much of any priorities, because apparently Sega's priority at this point was to like push the game out for holiday sale. And for the money, it's like, thanks for the money, dummies. That was their priority.
The thing is, the hard mode variants aren't really very different from the normal variants almost at all. they'll have slightly different platforming sequences occasionally, and more enemies placed around when you have to get to the combating.
More enemies, hard mode. So, yeah, another aspect the game failed on. Hard mode itself. They didn't make the enemies harder. They don't know how to do that. Nah, like, let's just put more enemies down, and let's just change up, and then let's just change up the level format.
Encounters, but generally they are extremely similar to the normal variants of the levels, to the point that these...
This man even said they're extremely similar. It really didn't do a good job.
almost feel pointless to me. However, the DLC levels, the very hard levels, now these are more what I'm talking about. These remix the default levels substantially and have you going through them in different orders, going through levels backwards, having you do all this weird shit, going to parts of the level that normally this character wouldn't normally go to.
Also, yeah, like, their problem about the Blue Gem actually is that while you get familiar with the arc quickly, it would really help if they had like a reticle that tell you where exactly it's gonna fucking land. And it's like this ain't a new concept either. Like we've seen games do this. One of the first things I just thought about was the freaking smoke bombs reticle in the Arkham games. If it's not that, it was the I know the bat radar. What was it like the Sonic Batarang could do that. How about Sonic, but like even that, like again, it makes one wonder, just like how much of like resources did they have really? Like it kind of feels like too that the Sega devs will only give them like 1/10 of the dev kit.
These levels are actually very weird and very fun. As I said in Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, when we get to these like really hard levels, Sonic Team gets very experimental and very odd with their level design, and I really like it. And this game is no exception to that. These very hard levels are actually pretty fun and make for worthwhile extra playthroughs of these levels because they are basically completely new levels with these weird new variants. They are fun for time attack, which we can now finally talk about, because I think time attacking Sonic 06 is really fun. As I said, the gems make for just really fun games.
Damn, dude, how many times are you gonna say fun? Like, you said it like over 100 times at this point. Fun. Oh my god, man. Holy shit. Holy fuck, dude. This is killing my ass right now. God. How much you gotta justify shit in a bad game? This is actually insane right now. Oh, I can't believe what I'm fucking hearing. How long have I been going, dude? 2 hours. Holy hell. What the fuck, dude?
Gameplay where you can do all kinds of weird shit and get very experimental, but also I have to say I really like the level design of Sonic 06. Surprisingly, I actually think it's pretty good.
Okay. Let's see how I can address this. I mean, what I guess what we'll say though, it's better than fucking a good amount of like the stages in Shadow the Hedgehog. That's not a big achievement. It's not much of an achievement, honestly, because we're talking about levels that are kind of counterintuitive to what the player wants to do. But okay. I said before that the level design in this game is like from good to okay. At best, good. At the very fucking best, good. But I think even saying that it was like a low good, if that makes any sense. Okay. Okay. one thing though, the levels, like, it don't make much sense the way I'm gonna say it, but the like the levels don't really accommodate for your controls. I've already kind of talked about it earlier, actually, how this game still often gives you small platforms. While I did see there were like various sections where they actually gave you bigger platforms. I say there's still a good amount of time where you had to do some precise platforming, something that the Sonic games aren't known to be good at, especially with a game like the whole like air acceleration issue being being factored in. The levels don't accommodate for that often. I'd say like I literally look at the each and every level to like actually iron this point out. It don't accommodate for Knuckles climbing. Those issues. And the same shit for Rouge. Names are still piss easy. Like, it just takes you seconds, literally. And getting through the stage, like, okay, what I'm saying is that it's nothing special, I would say. So like, I've actually seen like one or two videos cover this sort of like wording here with what I'm saying, and it's not good. Like, just because the password don't mean good is what I'm saying here. Now, like when I see like a whole lot of like platforms that are small, I'll make sure to like point them out, because I think that's a piece of the puzzle that's like missing here.
But a decent amount of the time. Not always. Some of the levels aren't really that great. Like the first level in the game, Wave Ocean, I think kind of sucks. It's just a lot of automation with not really much of doing anything.
Yo, man. He's saying shit for me. Like, that's how bad we are. Oh my god. One step forward, two step back. Oh, one step forward, two step back. Oh. That's what we doing throughout this whole video, dude. Now, from his end, there was a big lack of that. There's a big lack of that when it comes to the gyms. But there's still like some stinkers among the gyms. Those mainly being like the white gym and the what was it? Not the purple one. But yeah, but the blue gem. I think that's 5 total, right? I don't think it's good either that we're missing the rainbow gem in this equation, which they took out. Which I don't think the mod loader doesn't have. Which I don't think they would have anyway, because I don't think they even had an animation for transforming into Supersonic. So, yo, man, what the fuck? Just wow, though, man. I did not take long for them to like walk that shit back, though.
I've already criticized the scripting and the heavy use of just automatic loops and stuff in the previous 3D Sonic games. But at least in those games, these sequences only last a handful of seconds. But here in Sonic 06, there are many sequences where you do absolutely nothing for like over 10 seconds at a time.
But yeah, like that's another thing too. People often point out in the Sonic games actually. Which yeah, that dates. I think that actually dates all the way back to Sonic Adventure 2 with that. I don't think I've been hearing that one in Sonic Adventure 1, but yeah, that's an issue though, I'd say. Automation, literally taking control away from the player. I personally find that one like not egregious in the slightest. Now, it'd be one thing it'd be another thing entirely if we're talking about like how Forces did like a whole lot of that shit. Like straight up, you don't have to press jump a few times. You get to the goal ring, and you play the stage in within 2 minutes. Like we don't have that here, but dude, oh my god! Like I've seen some points where you can play the stage within a minute on a normal run. So
time, and it just
shit.
kind of sucks. And also, some of the scripted sequences can break and just flat out kill you, which
that
is
too.
not okay. But when you get to levels like Dusty Desert, I really have to commend the level design here because it's really well done and very much
And the level design for being okay. Alright then.
feels like Sonic level design. It has the split level design where the more difficult paths are faster than the easier ones. It has shortcuts that you can miss if you start getting passive and expecting the game to play itself, encouraging you to constantly be active and try to predict and memorize the level design to a decent degree.
How about you encourage and convince me that this game is even good?
And also, we have kind of gotten a bit away from that design that's been in all the 3D Sonic games so far, of them all being platforms and pathways floating in space. Like, there are still sometimes things like that, but there's a lot of sections in this game.
So, okay, we're towards the end of this video, thankfully. Now, now this is part 1, y'all. I don't know about doing part 2 and 3. I think I'd like cover that at some other point because, like the hotel that I'm at, I don't have that much time to like just stay here. But thank God though I have like a private space for once. But okay, listen. You have not convinced me, or even brought. So the defenders, the Sonic dick suckers, never bring up the idea, the notion that, oh shit, maybe I'm dick sucking something that's only good to okay. Like that makes my impression of this shit even fucking worse, dude. You say all day that, oh man, he has high standards. Which at that point, you should also realize just how bad we're at now. We're still talking about a game that's considered one of the worst games ever made. By the way, though, like, a game don't easily be getting that sort of label.
That are much wider and more open, kind of similar to sections in Sonic Adventure 1, but actually even more so than that game. A lot of the times the level design here really gets very expansive and wide and has a lot of room for you to figure out a way through. There are also more linear parts of the game, but when I look at something like Dusty Desert, oh my god, there are so many pathways here that really branch out from each other.
Now, what I'll also say too is that earlier today too, I was actually looking at a bit of his coverage for PO6. You know what this man said? This man said, I can't do it. I don't think I have it verbatim on me, but this man said, "Yo, ever since I started playing Sonic Project 06, it is very impossible for me to go back to the original." Like, dude, it's like, see what the fuck I'm talking about, man? Like, we tripping nuts in this video. Your later video, when it comes to coming to PO6, contradicts this whole video. And it's going to contradict the other videos. Like, dude. Now, another scary video that he's done is when it comes to covering the story of Project 06. Because he's just talking about pretty much gameplay in this one. He's just talking about gameplay from like part 1 to 3. None of my gameplay. So I can only imagine. Listen, I will bet that all it take for me is like looking at the first 10 minutes and he just be dick sucking. Like this is why, man, I haven't. First of all, dislike. This is why, man, I haven't subbed to you. and I'm having issues letting out your video, man, because this is some ridiculous shit right here. Like, the amount of times that you said the word fun in the video just had to be, it has to be over 50 times, man. I'm fucking certain.
I particularly complimented Sonic Heroes for having the split level design like traditional Sonic level design would. But
that ain't a good. I'm sorry. That ain't a good start either. The fact that you say that Sonic Heroes is your favorite Sonic game. So that means he put it over Sonic Adventure 2. Oh. Where it's like, listen, I looked at a video where a dude trying to defend Sonic Heroes and say it's better than Sonic Adventure 2. Because it is that hard though. You kind of can't do it though. And like your playtime in Sonic, your playtime in SA2 is like much better anyway because of all the shit that you can do in it, and also still shot like yo man, only the advanced games in Adventure 1 and 2 had Child Garden. It's like, by the way though, so this game don't have that. And I say it's hard to fuck it up. These motherfuckers, man, I'm telling y'all.
But I would argue this game actually does it better, because in that game, while God, there are so many pathways here that really branch out from each other. I particularly complimented Sonic Heroes for having the split level design like traditional Sonic level design would, but I would argue this game actually does it better, because in that game, while the path...
Why, man? Why you gotta do this to yourself? Yo, man, what am I witnessing right now? Why, dude? Why? Yo, man, I feel so frustrated right now. Listen, man. At least in Heroes, you can level up in that game and shit, man. Come on, dude. And like the enemies were better in that game anyway, dude. I saw them spirit enemies be fucking my ass up. Dog. Yo, man, what is this shit? Oh god, it's like, how though? I don't, if I were to try to compare like which one had more upgrades, like which one had more power-ups, I'm very certain that even Heroes would have more power-ups in it. Yeah, we're tripping, dude. We just tripping. You got me slipping.
As would split, it would kind of just be more like there would be a shortcut at the top where you would just skip the lower part of the level, whereas in the classic 2D Sonic games, there would actually be completely separate parts of the level, totally different branches, where you would see totally different areas depending on which path you took through the level. There's a little bit of that in like SA1, but not
is he trying to say it like it's bad? Like, what's the point here?
much. But here in Sonic 06, there are so many different pathways sometimes in this level design, and it really is cool, and designed very much like a Sonic game should be. Like, take this part of
Yo, man, what am I hearing that it's better that the players don't look completely different from each other? opposed to damn past like the same shit. What? Wouldn't that also make it hard to explain what's what, dude? What the? I made a good basis, man.
Dusty desert, where you can climb all these platforms up to the top of the section to get to the next part of the level. But actually,
I hate that part.
if you're more attentive, then you can find a spring in this box that'll just launch you past all that.
How the fuck would you know that? That's not good game design, dude. Like, you had to go out of your way to actually find something like that. And there's nothing. This is the other thing too about that. You don't be doing that in the other levels. Literally, like, dude. Similar to that. Similar to the freaking J, man. We don't be. When it comes to like this game, we don't be acting like we know what we talking about when it comes to good level design. Because if it was good, you would know. You would have a feeling at least that it's under there. Like, who the fuck discards shit like that without falling around?
At platforming right to the top of the section. However, this entire sequence can be completely skipped if earlier in the level you avoid a passive trap, jump into a rainbow ring, and then get to this higher path, which will...
Now, what I don't like about this game too is like the jump height. I don't know if that's one of the rings where it's actually harder to like get to, but I have to... I can't really test it now, but a long story about that one. But yeah, like, I just wish the jump height was like better. I mean, to be fair, I think that ring was actually a little more in front of you, so it's kind of easier to like reach. So okay,
launch you.
Like, that's still a way better example than the spring one that you talked about.
Past a huge section of the level and give you a massive shortcut. However, if you do miss that shortcut, there's actually another shortcut earlier on the pathway below that's very easy to just run past if you don't notice it, but if you're actually paying attention, you can see, hey, look at all these enemies going up this wall, and you can chain a bunch of homing attacks up to the top and get to the top of this area faster than you could if you got to the later part of this area that I mentioned at first. This is...
I'm kind of certain that's actually unintentional. There's like a lot of things in this game that's actually unintentional when it comes to, you know, like progression. Like, I don't have like a whole lot of examples on me for shit like that. Again, I'm certain though, because I don't think anyone has ever done that, honestly, aside from maybe a handful of speedrunners.
Textbook Sonic level design, having multiple...
That was not textbook Sonic level design for that example. Oh shit.
Opportunities for the player to get through the level faster of varying degrees of effectiveness depending on how good they are at the game and how well they play. And this is not a unique thing to this one part of the level. This area of...
You're right, a whole lot of things you're explaining aren't unique.
Kingdom Valley has even more split pathways. You can go low, you can go high. I have to say that actually, in some ways, I would say that Sonic 06 actually has the best level design.
No! No! Oh my god, dude! Oh, we tripping. No. I need a minute, dude. So we ain't going to ignore the fact that
the last story stages are bullshit with the whole instant death eye that slow the game the fuck down, pulls your ass in, it slows you down in turn if you're even close to that shit, while flinging shit at you. You need the separate statue birds with the orbs on them to get rid of the motherfuckers for a limited amount of time. And the ball gag puzzle, and the weak ass enemies. The fact that most of the game is suspended by pits, like still. Like it's a little more general, but the fact that the game still doesn't have autosave, lack of ability when it comes to the rail grinding. Like, oh my god, dude, this is some bullshit. He's literally saying, oh yeah, like the friggin', well, up down, dude. It's like the best up down in multiple paths. It's excellent low design. It's the best low design in the fucking series. That's what we talking about. Yeah, so much shit missing and lacking, man, and disappointing that we both pointed out even at this point. But oh man, so 06 has the best lower design in the series. Yo man, I don't think there's anything that even J-Man, Mr. J Review said that was this egregious. Like, oh my god, dude. I might have been like the worst thing he's ever fucking said. And then oh yeah, like the screen, the freaking loading screens weren't that bad.
Of any of the 3D Sonic games so far. It also has a lot of problems.
And then he walked. Yet again, he walks it back. Wait, hold on. Like, I meant to say, like, out of the 3D Sonic games, and it still has a lot of problems. Like, what the fuck? Getting that mirror in seconds. Help me, this shit's killing me. Oh my god. It's like, dude, which is it? Pick, dude. Pick.
With its level design, but there are parts here that I would say are actually amazing. I was
oh my god. Yo, I'm sorry, people. Sorry that I'm laughing my ass off right now. But what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? This game was frustrating DSP of all people. That's been a god for easy games. And he still be frustrated. Freaking getting through this game and shit. Like, nigga. Oh my god, dude. This is so fucking egregious right now. I don't even know where to start with all this shit now, man. This is so fucking bad.
Thoroughly impressed when I was routing out time attacks on this game, just how many different pathways there are and how you can go in and out between them. Like, it's really cool.
Again, just to iron out what just happened there. Positive. This is like the best low design in. This has the best low design in one of the 3D Sonic games. 2, it still has a lot of issues. 2, those are still really cool though, and I was made about my time. Like, dude, which is it? Pick a side, dude. Like, that is. It's one thing to be freaking nuance by your review, but it's another thing entirely to just be picking sides from like one side to like the other side, then come back to the one side, then come back to the side you were on a second ago. Like literally seconds, man. And then be like, oh yeah, it should be fun though. Like the freaking points that you were having were like they're not on Earth anymore. They're on fucking Jupiter, man.
Cool. Everybody always says that this game is garbage, and I totally understand why.
You even said after this game was garbage.
There are 7 bazillion problems that this.
You even says this man saying there's 7 bazillion problems with this game. I'm like, dude, pick a side. This man thinking he's Shadow. Then he could just be on whatever side he can be at any second. This ain't Shadow the Hedgehog, man. I'm not sure if you knew.
Game has. But like all the 3D Sonic games, as I've said, past all the problems, if you can deal with them and get used to them, there is really something here that I think could be really good. I find that time attacking this game is really fucking fun. And while I don't really think that
still don't mean good, man.
it's worth it to do both the normal and hard
Like you be sounding a little too excited when you be saying that shit.
variants, because they're so similar, I just go straight for the hard and don't even bother with the normal variants. The very hard variants do absolutely feel worthwhile to do as additional time attacks. So with the DLC, you do get quite a meaty amount of fun Sonic time attack gameplay to do.
But by the way, we're talking about you going back into the game, dealing with shit controls that you've had a whole lot of problems with. So like just because the game is like really hard, don't mean the gameplay better.
Surrounded in a bunch of crap that really sucks, and is a very
surrounded in a bunch of crap that sucks. Like, how many times are we gonna like mention that shit while saying, but the game be fun though.
Problematic, but if you can put up with that stuff, you can get to a game that I honestly think is really fun. And this is only 1/3 of the game. We still have the other 2
Again, how many times have you said fun in this whole video?
campaigns to talk about in the next part. So I'll see you then. Thank you for watching.
Look, man, I already a dislike. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Take the shit off my screen, Mr. Well, Sonic was always good. Sonic was always good, though. Oh my freaking god, man. Now, let me just look at the comments to like wrap this shit up. I freaking apologize. This is gonna be insane now. Just cover like a few comments. I'm just expecting every video to start with, you know, people say this game has a lot of problems, but I just think it's pretty okay. Dude, you reply to that one. So how many times, man, is he gonna say some shit like that? Like, it sounds stupid, dude. So this is the case for so many Sonic games. I mean, it really depends on what Sonic game we're talking about, but this is why I lamented in my Heroes video about getting a game that is just all around good without any major problems. But dude, like this game especially has major fucking issues, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Don't even start with Silver. Don't even start with the bad gems again. And then don't even start with the fucking level design. Like, you just keep trying to dick suck. Like, dude. Well, you're the level design's a bitch in this game. Like, apparently. There are some games like that, but so many more with issues. What a difficult series to enjoy. Like, you made it even more difficult by defending a bad Sonic game. This nigga's tripping. Oh my god. Sonic 06 complete fixes. Lightspeed Dash. Also Sonic 06 breaks literally everything else. We fix it, but at what cost? For real, dude. Oh my god, man. The free title of the video should have been called Why I Have a Difficult Time in Enjoying Sonic 06. Like, you might as well the title most of the other bad Sonic games like that too. Like, man, if he gives a Sonic Shuffle and he just praises the fucking, music, and then certain aspects of the gameplay, and then him trying to get through the game himself, being like, oh yeah, this game is fun. But, like, there's also like the fact that oh my god, dude. Because literally no human enjoys streaming that fucking game. That was fucking rough. So, like, even this man, when he gives out a whole lot of points, a whole lot of good points in the other Sonic games, he be struggling mad hard here. Not even he can say this shit. So yeah, what I'll say you do is, nice try, missing with that shit, and yeah, I'm gonna close the video here because y'all get it at this point. So let me repeat myself. So yeah, this is me, Hot Take Central, and I'm out. Pariah, you're full of shit, man.